Many are wondering if the current Republican Party will uphold the values of Trump's populist voter base. Wall Street Journal pointing out that President Trump is signaling about new plans to create a third party, calling it the Patriot Party. Joining me now to discuss is Pennsylvania Congressman Guy Reschenthaler. Congressman, thank you for coming back. Happy New Year to you, sir. It's the first time we've seen you in the new year. With your GOP leadership seeming eager to leave President Trump behind and fall in line with Joe Biden, it seems the Surrender Caucus is now running the show. Does the GOP think that the conservatives will stick around for the Republican Party, or do they believe that they are more loyal to, say, President Trump?
Well, Chris, first off, thanks for having me on. And as always, please just call me Guy. To address what you're talking about, I think that the last thing we need, Chris, is a third party. What we need Republicans to stick together. The Republicans in the House, by and large, are holding the line. We're supporting President Trump, dare I say, the once and future president, maybe what he was signaling last night in his address. But we need to hold the line more so than ever. And we need Republicans in the Senate to circle the wagons. If Senator Cruz or Senator Hawley, if they're removed from their committee assignments, that's sending the wrong signal. So again, we don't need a third party. We just need Republicans in the current Republican Party to hold strong and espouse and stand up for the Trump agenda that got us to where we are. And Chris, let me just say this. Imagine if the roles were reversed, and we don't even need to imagine. We have a great example. Eric Swalwell. There was not one Democrat that was calling for Eric Swalwell to lose his committee assignment on the Intel Committee. Juxtapose that with Senator Hawley and Senator Cruz, who had the audacity to stand up for a conservative agenda, and now they're being threatened to lose their committee assignments simply because of their ideological positions.
Well, you and I both know that that's a double standard, that the leadership in the Republican Party has all but accepted. Democrats can say or do whatever the hell they want. They can be as anti-American as they want, as you point out, even ones that are apparently compromised by a foreign spy. And Nancy Pelosi feels perfectly empowered because of the signal she's seeing from Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell that she can put Mr. Swalwell in charge of the impeachment of President Trump. It's absolutely crazy. Now, you said the Republicans have got to stick together, and that's all well and good. But let's leave out the discussion of the Mitt Romneys of the world and others like him. The Democrats have changed the rules, Congressman, that you guys in the Republican Party have no say. The rights of the minority are absolutely gone. So how are you planning on protecting your constituents from the socialist swamp that we anticipate is coming our way?
Well, you're right. The Democrats have already moved to consolidate power. They've done it through some procedural changes, which would probably bore your audience, but they have started to erode the rights of the minority in the House, which will make it harder, but not impossible, for us to get legislative wins. Just as Leader McCarthy said, with this slim majority that the Democrats have, they may have the majority in the House, but it's very possible that if Republicans actually stick together and those so-called moderate Democrats that ran on platforms espousing the fact and bragging about the fact that they were moderate free thinkers, if just a few of them join us, we as Republicans can run the floor of the House. And certainly, if we stick together, if we fight for jobs, if we fight for a strong America abroad, if we fight for energy independence, we can then retake the House in 2022. Today may have been the first day of a Joe Biden administration, but I think it's the first day of Republicans coming back stronger than ever in 2022.
Well, again, a party, and this is the Socialist Democrat Party, that prizes itself on groupthink, no diversity of thought, peeling away a Democrat to join the Republicans. And I think it's a sad position you've got to be in as a Republican, having to rely on a Socialist Democrat to see your point of view to protect your constituents. Last thing, Joe Biden, he is vowed to join the Paris Climate Accord, rejoin it. Of course, you know this accord is voluntary for all the participants. But remember, Obama made sure that America was hurt and hurt right away. China sat on their rear ends and they ignored it and they prospered and America was hurt. And we fully anticipate that Biden will do the same, hurt America's economy while making sure that China is unharmed by the Paris Climate Accord. Is this the first example of Biden delivering for Beijing?
It's one of many examples which I think we're going to see. And you're absolutely right. The Paris Agreement does nothing except hurt the American economy. Those goals are voluntary, and the ones that aren't voluntary for China and other nations don't come into effect until 2030, 2035, and elsewhere. It's completely illusory, meaning that it's not real for these other parties. It just hurts Americans, and it hurts our natural gas sector of our economy and those jobs. Now, I also think you're going to see some softening on China. Another great example from today, getting back in the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization parroted Chinese Communist Party talking points all last year. They lied to the world. They sat on evidence. They wouldn't allow in inspectors to come into the Wuhan facility. And by us getting back in the World Health Organization, we fund what is really a parroting apparatus for the Chinese Communist Party. So I think you're going to see a softening on China. Unfortunately, this administration and the Democrats, by and large, do not take the threat from China seriously, and they do that at the peril of America.